gosh, great question.
This is the Schmo with the pro, with the best player in NFL history to come out undrafted. He's a two-time MVP. He's a Super Bowl MVP. He's Kurt Warner in the flesh. Super Bowl Radio Row, Las Vegas. How we doing today, my man?
I'm doing good, man. You're here. You got the slot machines behind you playing games. This is sweet, man. Good setup.
Appreciate that. It's Las Vegas. We had to do something right here.
You did it right. You did it right. I like it.
Talk to the Schmo for a second. Best show on turf. Obviously, you had the Renaissance with the Arizona Cardinals. What's your most satisfying thing that you've ever accomplished in your career, Kurt?
Oh, gosh, great question. But it's got to be a tie between the two. Winning the Super Bowl, obviously, it's hard to beat that. But taking a team like the Cardinals, who hadn't won in 50 years, never been to the Super Bowl, taking them to the Super Bowl, even though we didn't win it, those two things were kind of the crown jewels on my crown.
And what's it going to take Kyler Murray to bring those Cardinals back to the Super Bowl and win the whole thing?
I mean, you got to get pieces. I mean, nobody wins a championship by themselves. No matter how talented you are as a quarterback, it's about the guys around you. So they just got to keep building. They got to keep putting pieces around him, solidify some other things. He's talented enough, obviously, to play this position and to lead his team, but he needs a team around him to help him.
Is it a top wide receiver they target with their draft pick in the first round?
I mean, it all comes down to who's available at the time. But, yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, if you got a chance to get a Marvin Harrison Jr., who a lot of people think is, one of those difference-making generational talents, heck yeah. If you got your generational talent at quarterback, give him some weapons. But there's lots of pieces to play in football, right? Defensive linemen. We've seen teams win with defense. Offensive linemen. Hard to do anything as a quarterback without offensive linemen. So I think there's a lot of ways they can go, but I would not be surprised if a couple quarterbacks go in front of them that they go with the wide receiver.
Let's talk about that number one overall pick. Everyone's talking about Caleb Williams, USC. Is that generational quarterback? When you put on the game film, do you see it when you see him play?
Well, here's what I'll always say, is that you never know what somebody's going to be from one level to the next. We've seen some great college quarterbacks that don't become great at the NFL level. We've seen some average college quarterbacks become great at the NFL. So it's all so hard to project. I think what we've seen with Caleb is that when you watch him in college, yeah, he's a generational college talent. One of those guys that has done things and does things on the football field that we haven't seen very many do. I'm always very cautious of dropping those things on these kids. Everybody says, oh, he's like the next Patrick Mahomes. Can we relax and let Caleb Williams just try to figure out how to play? And if he can be special, let him create that narrative on his own. So really good college quarterback. No idea what these guys are going to be at the NFL level, although I hope all of them become generational talents.
Which quarterback impressed you the most that you saw this season? Was it a Baker Mayfield? Was it Jared Goff and what he did with the Detroit Lions? His former team was your former team in the Rams.
Well, if I'm picking one, I'm picking Brock Purdy. I mean, he's in the Super Bowl, but he hasn't got enough credit. And I thought he had the best season of any quarterback in the National Football League this year. We talked about a lot of other guys. And again, not that he hasn't got his due, but I don't think he's got the due that he deserves for how well that he played. And so if we're talking about the best quarterback play this season, it was Brock Purdy.
Well, we're here in Sin City. It's Las Vegas. Let's talk a little bingo. Let's talk a little play to cup bingo here. That's why the Schmo's got this set up, man.
Okay, I love it.
The Schmo's got his bingo card, too. We came ready to go. Talk to us about what's going on.
You played bingo when you were growing up. I played bingo when I was growing up. Used to go. Mom would buy the cards. Everything I won, I got to take home. I got to keep. That was my spending money, so I loved bingo night. But it was always about, right, your bingo card, popping that last spot, and you just bingo. So I believe Super Bowl is so much like that. It's about who's going to have their bingo moment. Who's going to have, is it Brock Purdy? Is it going to be Patrick Mahomes? Is it going to be somebody that we're not talking about right now that has that iconic bingo moment play in the Super Bowl? I had mine in Super Bowl 34. So what we're doing is we got Vegas, like you said. We got a little of my background. We got Super Bowl, those bingo moments. So Bingo Blitz teamed up with them. Download their free app. Sign up for a free account. And if one of these defenses has a record-breaking sack total, which means 8 sacks in this game, one of our account holders is going to win $1 million in the spirit of Vegas. So I'm not playing in the game, so I'm cheering for sacks. So one of our account owners can win $1 million.
We get an MVP prediction because it also could be a losing player. We know that can happen.
It doesn't happen very often. It's going to be one of these quarterbacks. You know that.
Okay.
Like if San Francisco wins, with all the story going around, it's going to be Brock Purdy. If the Chiefs win, probably going to be Patrick Mahomes as well. So I'm going to go this route. I'm not really sure who I'm picking yet, but I'm going to lean in the direction of Patrick Mahomes winning his third MVP and third Super Bowl.
Final message for all the Kurt Warner fans out there worldwide.
final message? Man, keep believing, right? I mean, I think we got another great story. My story was all about, no matter what anybody says, keep believing in what you can accomplish. Keep being confident in you, and anything's possible. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, is playing in the Super Bowl. Could be you too.
A true American underdog, a hero indeed. He's the pro. I'm the Schmo. Super Bowl Radio Row. We're out.